Hi friendies, and thank you for clicking on this video. Today's video is going to be discussing and me reacting to makeup conspiracy theories from the MUA conspiracy subreddit, which unfortunately is not very active, so I encourage everyone to go on the subreddit and submit any conspiracy theories of your own, should you have some, the makeup related ones. But now let's just go straight into the video. And the first theory, I have them all written down in this little book because I'm actually filming with my phone. The first makeup conspiracy theory is the reason why companies make food related makeup is to make us crave that stuff. That theory was submitted by the user Zombie Like Umber. So the theory goes, Murphy has a highlighter named Donut. Tati talked about how she craved donut. The more unhealthy things you eat, the more insecure you feel, except for peach, which is a healthy thing, but nevertheless used in the makeup marketing techniques. And that was true for the user. I gotta say that's not true for me. I don't feel more insecure the more unhealthy I eat because body positivity for everyone. But I agree that I feel like companies name products after food to wake up our hunter's instinct or not. Or for example, when you're really hungry, you think about food subconsciously and any food item catches your attention, even if it's makeup. And basically I feel like it revokes a different feel and different approach in our subconsciousness. When you see a regular palette and a burger palette, the burger palette will attract you firstly because it's makeup that might interest you, but secondly because it's food and subconsciously it might attract your hunter survivor instinct, if that makes sense. And if you're always hungry, that can also attract your attention a lot. And I mean, I love food. Who doesn't love food?
You know I love food.
It's a bulletproof tactic, I feel like. But I don't agree with the conspiracy theory about having so much insecurities from eating unhealthy food influenced by makeup that you would feel so insecure that you would need makeup. I disagree with that one. The second conspiracy theory is a very interesting one, very believable in my opinion. And it goes, ABH Sultry palette was meant to be named Steampunk. Shade names are Cyborg, Amber, Cinder, Dystopian, and Steampunk itself. They aren't related to Sultry theme, but they have a steampunk feel to them. ABH realized, according to the user, that their main demographic probably doesn't know what steampunk is, or perhaps even if they do know, they are not really interested in that aesthetic, and therefore ABH scrapped it and called it Sultry, as the overall vibe of the brand is more glam. Color story of Sultry with grays, coppers, blacks, browns, bronzes also reminds of steampunk aesthetics. I feel like this is a very interesting theory. The peachy coral pop of color also resembles of the reddish pop of color that is used in some elements of steampunk themed clothing, according to the user. I feel like this is a very interesting theory that has a lot of ground to it because of the names. And I agree that the color scheme of the palette doesn't really fit into the sultry theme, But if it was steampunk, I feel like the cover of the palette wouldn't really fit the theme either. So it would be really interesting to see how the whole palette would look if they did go the whole way with this steampunk theme. But props to the user for discovering this. Another is one of the most popular theories from the subreddit and is very important to know, I feel like. It is submitted by the user Feeder, and it goes: Jaclyn Hill named one of her eyeshadows in the Ring the Alarm palette mugshot. So when people Google Jaclyn Hill mugshot, they see the palette in the search results instead of her real life mugshot. And the commenters pointed out that a lot of similar things happen, like the Emblem company Paparazzi named one of their jewelry pieces Pyramid Scheme to screw the Google searches. And apparently Jeffree Star also did a similar thing and named his dog Drama to kind of do the similar thing when people look up Jeffree Star Drama. So there will be a possibility that they would see just pictures of a cute dog or something. Funnily enough, Lime Crime did the same thing and named the lipstick Scandal. So you can see that it's an interesting technique, and I think it seemed to work. And props to the user to discovering it and opening our eyes to it. The fourth makeup conspiracy theory that I have decided to talk about is submitted by the user Cristabella Andrioli, and it goes: companies have been putting up mascaras with fast drying formulas intentionally. And it's a very interesting one, and it kind of reminded me of the bottled water conspiracy. Like that conspiracy goes like the myth, the concept that we need 2 liters a day was made up by companies who produce bottled water, and they also highlight that tap water is not good and you need 2 liters of good bottled water a day. And with mascaras, we are taught that we need to replace mascaras every 3 months, which is also kind of encourages us to replace mascaras perhaps more often than we would like, because some mascaras can stay intact for longer than 3 months. So I think that can be a slight conspiracy too. But as for drawing formulas, I definitely agree. I had mascaras who would dry even faster than 3 months past. They would dry in 1 or 2 months, and I would agree that they would do it intentionally to encourage people to repurchase mascara, even though there is like no guarantee that you would go to their brand to repurchase the mascara. And secondly, you could just add a couple of drops of contact solution to your mascara to extend its life. The fifth makeup conspiracy theory is also on point, and it goes: Colourpop released a reformulated concealer, primer, setting spray, powder at different times, so people couldn't bundle for free shipping. And if you're making multiple orders, you're tempted to buy more to hit free shipping. And that theory was submitted by the user Shark Otter 0. I definitely agree, and that actually happened to me with Colourpop even before they released foundation and complexion products that the user talks about. That happened to me when They restocked Colourpop Yes Please and had just launched Femrosa palette. First of all, one of the schemes that I fell for is that conveniently they didn't have Femrosa in stock, but they did have the whole Femrosa bundle in stock with the palette, the face palette, and 3 liquid lipsticks. I only wanted the She palette, but it was out of stock, so I went for the bundle, which mysteriously contained the out of stock palette. But the one that I really wanted, Yes Please, was still out of stock, so I made that order. I added more things to hit the first shipping, and then when Yes Please went out of stock, I did the same thing and added more products to gain the free shipping and had 2 orders in a close amount of time. And I also think not so soon after, I did the same thing with Colourpop My Little Pony. So this conspiracy theory is true, and it worked for me prior to complexion products with 3 different eyeshadow palettes. It is a marketing scheme, a marketing tactics, and it works. It's very convenient for them to kind of keep different products out of stock and at different times. So to make like one palette would be in stock and coming back in stock while the other is still out of stock and then comes in stock. And with the complexion products, they definitely release them at a different time. I distinctively remember that. And yep, similar story throughout all the years. That was a Colourpop way of doing it, as opposed to releasing everything at the same time. They release things on 2 or 3 days apart, like it happened with Watermelon palette recently, and like 3 days later there was the Blue Moon palette. So theoretically you could have made your order for Watermelon palette, the red palette, and then be frustrated that Blue Moon palette wasn't out yet, and having to make another order if you're interested in that one as well. So 100% true. Another conspiracy theory is submitted by the user Leah108. The 7-step K-beauty skin routine is redesigned to use up your product 7 times faster. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Theoretically, if you're using the 7-step routine and using 7 different products, you would use a lesser amount of product for each step that you would if you only had 2-step, like a face serum and a moisturizer. However, I do think it is very convenient and beneficial for the brands to create the need for more product and the need for more steps and to feel that need. So I would say I agree 50-50 on this one. I wouldn't say that you would necessarily use it 7 times faster, but I agree with the basis of that theory. And the final one that I chose for today is that's the most tinfoil hat conspiracy ever. And it goes, Kat Von D was hired to say she wasn't vaccinating her kid as a form of population control. Less people vaccinate, more people die, and less people on the surface of the earth, the easier it is to control them. No comment needed. This is top-notch tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. and I think we should appreciate it, how perfect it is for the perfect conspiracy. But yeah, there is that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did, and thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you in my next videos. Bye bye.